Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1, K-3, CR-1, and IR-1 visas. That's primarily most of the visas we do here in our office here in Bangkok. And big question that comes up from time to time is attorney presence at the interview. So that's at the interview that's in the interview at the embassy at the U.S. Embassy here in Bangkok. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about who can be at the interview. At the end of the day, only really the applicant can be at the interview. For security reasons, the embassy will not let in anybody else. Now, I do interact with the embassy quite frequently. Do I go to the embassy interview? No, not as a matter of course. There may be very rare occasions where I may be down there because there's some major issue of law going on. Although even that, usually we don't really do it anymore for that. And I used to appear at the embassy quite frequently, especially for what was called 221G follow-up. Now, to their credit, as much as I don't love the National Visa Center and the quagmire, the digital quagmire they've made their website into, that said, it does seem to streamline things a lot more, so 221G follow-up isn't done quite as often. So maybe I'm just not down there because I'm not needed, because we've been dealing with all that on the front end, especially in an immigrant spousal visa context. Security is generally a reason that is cited by folks that are running the sort of the infrastructure of the consular section in an embassy. Basically, they're saying, look, we only have so much room down here. We don't want everybody sort of packed together cheek and jowl. There are security concerns, and then they began citing COVID, which, people can disagree on that. I've certainly been very vocal in my disagreements as far as all that goes. But leaving that aside, again, 2 years ago, it just kind of was what it was. We just dealt with it. So the reason for the video is, under limited circumstances, I was down at the embassy, 10 days ago. I had to do a follow-up deal because we had to get a case rectified to get it out. We went ahead and dealt with that. Everybody down there is pretty polite, no real issue, but that's pretty rare. I'm doing that in kind of a small minority of my cases, but at the end of the day, I guess that's the function of an attorney. You're not really using them, and it's not when things are going smooth. It's when you've got an issue that you need to get resolved. So the thing to take away from this video is, an attorney an attorney like me, I might be present under certain circumstances at the embassy, depending on the facts of the case. But in the vast majority of cases, no. It's going to be the person who is the applicant who is interviewing, and they're going to be interviewing alone. Now, that said, we provide a great deal of interview preparation. We deal with mock questions. We provide as much information as we possibly can regarding the protocols for when you go into the embassy. It's daunting. It's especially daunting for someone who's, English is a second language for them, and, they're not really used to dealing with it, and they kind of feel like it's, I think a lot of people feel like it's a do or die situation. In fact, much more than it really is in reality. And it's just not a pleasant experience. And we hope we provide some reassurance about how it's going to play out, and provide some peace of mind for going through it. I've been doing this for 15 years. Sometimes I probably seem a little bit cavalier about it, or maybe even a little bit kind of just, almost, I wouldn't say lazy, but because we do have to move these cases through, but I'm just sort of nonchalant because I've been doing it for so long. And that actually throws some people off sometimes, quite frankly. But for the most part, I hope it conveys what it is, which is we deal with these cases quite frequently. There's really not a lot at this point. I'm not going to say I've seen everything under the sun, but I've dealt with pretty much anything anybody could deal with in a consular processing context. So, whether I'm there or not, I feel like the client is being assisted as best I can.